I want to show you the Stripology Ruler. This thing is a game changer for cutting fabric strips, for squaring up your quilt blocks. This thing's amazing, and it's like a creative genius. This is a Creative Grids ruler, by the way. We sell it at Sewing Parts Online. Now look at this thing. I'm using the one that's 12 inches wide. I've got a piece of fabric under it because I'm going to show you, I'm going to cut some 2.5-inch strips. I love my jelly roll strips and my 2.5-inch fabric strips. So what I did is I first laid this ruler onto my fabric, and I'm lining up the bottom black line and making sure the top is lined up too. That's very important. This ruler has slits cut in it every 1/2 inch. Seriously, every 1/2 inch. Look, it moves a little. There are spaces between this that are so fine. Now, the back of it is going to grip your fabric, so you don't have to worry about the fabric moving. So to start, if you look at the bottom of this ruler, there's like a teardrop shape, and that's where you put your rotary cutter. The easiest way to do this is to lay it on the teardrop and stand it up. So I'm going to start at my 0 line, and I'm just going to cut off whatever is there. I'm cutting through a lot of pieces of fabric right now, so I'm going to press extra hard, okay? Now look, on the ruler, these little squares, they even set it up that at 2.5 inches apart, there's a square here. So I'm just going to look at the squares. They also have little notches for 1.5-inch strips, whatever you want. I started at 0. I'm going to go to the little square, and I'm going to go to the next square, and the next square, and the next. This is so much easier than stopping and having to measure everything every time. Now, if I did this right, and if I pressed hard enough, because like I said, I'm going through a lot of fabric, I should have all of these beautiful, this was my 0 line. Remember, I don't need that either. So look, when we open these up, here's 2 pieces here. Let me move the ruler because we're going to do something cool here. I'm going to line these up on top of each other. See that? These are really beautiful. Now look, I'm not going to do too many at a time. Let me set those aside and bring this down. Because with these strips that we just cut, I'm going to lay the ruler down again here. I'm going to put it on the bottom and make sure the lines are good, right? I'm going to cut off my little end just because that's what I'm going to do. Now I'm going to go to the square again. Every 2.5 inches, cut, 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 and the last, cut. Now, by doing that, look at this. I have all these beautiful, perfect squares. Look, this was just in a short amount of time that you watched. All of these beautiful squares here. You can do all kinds of stuff like this. This ruler is like it's a mathematical genius thing. Now, the interesting part of this is you can also square up a quilt block. So here's a quilt block, right? Let me put it under the ruler. If you can see, I'm going to pull this out a second. The ruler has these black squares on it, right? This is a 3-inch block, a 4-inch. It can go all the way up to a 12-inch quilt block. Now, mine is about an 8. So I'm going to lay this on here, and there is a 45-degree angle line that I want to match up with the center of my quilt block. And I'm really close to the 8 already, so that's good. So I'm going to cut off the 0 line, and I'm going to cut off the 8-inch line. Now, I didn't have much to cut off. Now I'm going to turn it this way and do the same thing. I'm going to use the top and the bottom, and I'm going to use the 45-degree mark on here again to go through the center of my square. And I think that is where I need to be. I'm cutting my 0, I'm cutting my 8, and then this quilt block is a beautifully cut 8-inch quilt block because I used the guides on this ruler. Now look, the black lines are for quilt blocks that are measured in solid inches. The white squares that start from the center and go out, those are for quilt blocks that are measured in 1/2 inches. So honestly, this thing is so great. I absolutely love it. I hope you will go to Sewing Parts online and pick one up because you will be cutting squares in no time. Give it a try. Happy sewing.